Jhin. Remember, Jhin is a bit like Caitlyn in the sense, strong laning phase, fairly weak mid-game. Really wants to get to 3 items before he becomes a powerhouse in the late game. And that's what CLG is trying to play around and saying, you're not going to get that laning phase that you so desperately want.
Pretty much. Aphromoo moving into the jungle a little bit. Looking around, trying to find some Fnatic members, but Gamsu's already heading down to bot lane to meet up with Spirit.
And one of the things we were talking about a little bit during that Champ Select 2 was what is going to be the itemization on the Jhin this game? Because it's a question mark as to whether you go for the static shift for the wave clear or for the rapid fire cannon. Now, obviously, if you're trying to use the Lulu in a team fight, be on that front line, you really do want that extra range from the rapid fire cannon so you can answer some of this poke, try and open up a fight with that. But if we're going to see more split pushing from the Lulu, Jin's going to have to be the one holding the mid lane. And in that case, does make it a bit trickier. And you may have to go for the static shift instead.
Yeah, it's one of the things about the Lulu Corki matchup. Oh, Spirit.
Yeah, wow, W over there. There's Huni. They get the flash out of Huhi, rather, right away. Nice little win for Fnatic.
Standard lane swap with a 3-man push, but very early from Fnatic and very delayed from CLG. So they're really far behind now in this swap before they actually get to the tower. They need to call in Xmithy now after he takes his boop off to help push in the tower if they want to make up for lost time. That's what you do. You sacrifice your jungler in the sense he doesn't get the extra camps, but he helps you push in because you are now behind in the tempo, which can become super impactful in a minute or two. It's not about the step 1, it's about step 2 and 3 of these swaps when the first tower is down. CLG are not doing it, so they will be behind on this push, and that means Gamsu will get some extra farm when the tower dies, and you can send Reckless and Clive faster to the top side and deny the Vladimir.
Yeah, Reckless taking a lot of that initial damage from tanking the minion wave, but obviously not enough, and not going to be very effective here as the recall will come in, and he will get that faster little angle onto the top side. And we've discussed this before, but CLG, they're in the top side on the lane swap first. This often can open up that first dragon, which is a great way to snowball a game, especially if you're CLG's composition and looking to play for the mid game. Threatening that 5 dragon stack a little over 30 minutes can be very useful, but now that they're behind, that may no longer be an option.
Fnatic is making this play again. They did it earlier today as well, where they put Reckless back in the bottom lane to get the 2v2 lane, because they take tower and they expect now Kalista and Alistar to return to the bottom lane like we normally see in these swaps. And then Jhin shows up, and you can see Klein, your minimap, is walking on top side to put down a defensive pink ward, and then his own green ward to spot any ganks coming for Gamsu when he goes to top side, because that lane normally would be pushing away, but it's actually pushing slowly around the mid lane. And CLG are reading it. They're going to see the 2v2 on bottom side.
Yep.
Spirit is
Not
here.
yet, though.
And Gamsu will actually complete the recall. Thresh has to recall himself and come back. They could have made a play right there.
I don't like this play from Fnatic in this case, because they were actually pretty far ahead in how fast they killed tower. So what should have happened was you would have gone top with your AD carry support. You would have pushed away the Vladimir, who would get like only a few CS because he had less time to farm. And you would then push for that tier 1 tower top, take the Rift Herald, and then you would swap down to bottom lane and you would fast push in with that 2v2. And you have a Rift Herald, which means you are constantly ahead in tempo, which means you will always be faster and force the D to defend. This now forces the 2v2, where you don't really gain any extra advantage.
Well, the other thing they could have done is actually they had the vision advantage there. Gamsu was recalling the brush. They didn't really know how far up they were. There's a possibility you could make a Lee Sin or a Rammus play. You've got a lot of crowd control there, and at least try and pick up a kill, get some sort of surprise. But instead, Fnatic sort of squander the advantage. They could have made either one of those plays. The swap you're suggesting is a lot of what we saw at Origin yesterday, but you could just straight up try and go for a kill there too.
Yeah, they just want that 2v2 so badly, but again, just like when they played QG, they are behind in experience because they were pushing so fast in the bottom lane, sharing experience as 2 or 3 members. So Reckless is only level 3 to level 4, meaning that advantage he would normally have is not there in this 2v2.
Flash from Reckless. Doram's still here. CLG gets a little bit aggressive in the bot lane. Clyde takes a lot of damage. Xmithy rotating around from behind, though. See if they can maybe get a dive out of this. I'm not so sure.
Reckless left the game, dropped out of the game.
Yeah, wow. So that means the gang's probably not coming in right now, at least.
See what happens. He just instant quit the game.
He's gone.
Angry he lost his flash. Right.
I guess. He's like, I'm out.
I'm done.
I found the tilt key.
Tough situation, though, and really a lane swap we've seen Fnatic use in the EULCS. Again, it's the mentality of Gamsu is their, I'm going to say, the least important member for our team right now, because he's just playing tanks all the time. So we will send him to these lanes where he's going to be in a disadvantage to try and put Reckless and Cly in a better situation. The problem is just that you will be behind in experience, waiting for that big wave to come in. And this 2v2 has to pay off for Fnatic, but there's no tower. So it's these very long lanes. If you're pushing the bot lane as Fnatic in a strong 2v2, the other team just kind of backs away and wait for you to push it all the way up. And then Vladimir's going to do the same against Rammus.
Yeah. Tense music has replaced the piano music as we wait to see what's going on with Reckless's computer. See if he can get back into the game.
Looks like he is back in now, and everyone is ready, so we should be getting into it pretty quickly.
Great. All right.
And there is a dive, a potential dive developing in the bottom side of the map. Spirit is running down. They did see Xmethy's Gragas in the tri-brush. Would be a little bit presumptuous to go for that dive with so many summoners up on the side of Fnatic, even though that flash is down. Spirit just going to clear out a pink ward instead.
Well, we'll see what they decide to do as we are back in game now. Reckless just had to use that flash to get away from the engage from Afromoon CLG, and that's going to allow CLG to put a little bit more pressure on this bot lane turret. But remember, here comes Spirit.
Yeah,
Here comes Xmethy going in. There's the engage from Afromu. Teleport coming in immediately for CLG to try to secure this first blood. Goes over to Kalista right as well. Stixay picks that one up. Spirit comes down. Q goes wide on Xmethy, which is hard to believe because Xmethy's so wide on that Gragas. Here comes TB coming in for Fnatic. Gamsu's right there. Gets knocked up immediately. Gets low. He's not a tanky Rammus yet, but Afromu, Stixay, everybody's so low. Xmethy gets hit by the Spirit Q. And they're just going to back off.
And again, remember, CLG had Stixay being a level above Reckless, so they could push in the lane. Gragas was there already, and Spirit was around, but he couldn't find a good route to actually come in and stop the dive, and there was no TP for Febivem.
He was also killing a pink ward behind the red buff. So he wasn't actually there in time. Didn't think that it was a major threat, but since Darshan was already at the top tier 2, he had the better freedom to teleport early on. Instead, Reckless is going to go ahead and pick up that CS in the top lane. So misplay right there. If we take a look at the start of this, I mean, they were just late to the party.
Yeah, and remember, no flash from Reckless. He had to use it before because he was under pressure in this 2v2 that Fnatic picked. Like, this is all a result of the way they decide to put the lanes after first tower dies. They put themselves in a situation where enemy top lane can TP and not really lose anything, and you get pushed into tower. So it's a good play by CLG. It's smart shot calling, adapting to the situation, saying where can we now force a play that Fnatic can't really respond to.
Wow, Gamsu is so lucky he didn't die during that fight too. That was very nearly more than one kill for CLG.
And this is the excellence of CLG's early game that we've seen. Reckless out going for a gank, not going to land the bind.
Yeah, who he able to get out doesn't even need to flash. He had the whimsy on him for a little bit, but it faded in time for him to get away. We have a roaming Jhin now.
Yeah, the lane assignment for Fnatic is really strange here. He walked up top because he needed to push out the wave. You always want to put your AD carry support to push out waves and your top laner to receive the waves in the early game. Because he's a little bit too weak on his own and it's super easy to gank and deny. So he had to go top and push it out. And then he walked all the way from top lane to bot lane. Catches another big wave, but he's not been able to play this 2v2 at all. And Fnatic just been putting themselves in disadvantages.
Yeah, and that means that already there's about a 1.5k gold lead for CLG just at 8:30 here, which is not a lot, but it's a lot for this point in the game.
And this is looking really eerily like game number 1. We have this Vladimir now, even though there was a lane swap in this game, we have this Vladimir who's starting to get an uncontrollable advantage. And now an engage.
Coming in, Afromu with the counter engage, Reckless in a lot of trouble. There he goes, another kill for Stixay. CLG, man, these dives, this play from Afromu has just been great.
Well, what are you going to do? Stixay has already hit level 6, so they're able just to play around that face call. And Spirit was in the bottom side of the map again, but just not respecting the power spikes that CLG has.
But yeah, you're Jhin without flash, so it's so easy for Gragas Alistar to just jump you every single time and kill you. And Fnatic, again, it's their own fault, honestly.
frankly, even if he does have flash,
yeah, he's probably going to die anyway.
Since they had, you know, the Gragas ult and the Kalista ult up, you're not living through that.
Only response is like a Lulu TP to save you, but that's about it, and it has to happen instantly.
That's 2 turrets already for CLG, taking that bottom lane tier 1. They've got the top lane tier 1 from a while ago. And Fnatic starting to have to play some major catch-up. They're almost 3,000 gold down already.
Well, but this has been CLG's pattern of play in the last few weeks. Have a very strong early game. Just outplay your opponent on the map. Get the superior shot calling. But it does tend to fall apart later on. We saw that definitely in the last game. They have to figure out a way to keep up this pressure.
Yep, Dragon still has some health. They're going to turn on to Cly right now. Cly gets a wild growth, gets knocked up a little bit. And now, Spirit getting away. Smithy's really low, man, and they actually give Reckless a kill there. Wow, nice shot from Reckless. Double kill there. And Febiven picking one up, too. They're going to grab the Dragon, and just like that, things turn around in a big way.
This is so important for Fnatic. The Jin that was behind, that didn't get to be a lane bully, gets 2 kills, and CLG is starting a Dragon early on in the game and taking a lot of damage from it with 5 or 4 members of Fnatic still being around. Hui is now zoned away, so he's not really impactful at this point because he can't get too close in this choke point up on top side, just outside of your screen. Gets a few hits down, and then they go and climb, but ulti from Febiven, and then it's just engaged on the 3 members who are still tanking Dragon, by the way.
Yeah, the Dragon just coming out of the pit, but the package used to disengage rather than to join up with the 4 people on his team. Nice shot there from Reckless to get the double kill. And they used so much, they burned the Alistar combo onto the Thresh when the wild growth was able to save him, so that a lot of their crowd control had already left. And then it was Sahuhi just trying to get back into the river, and the Lulu was already there waiting for him.
And we don't often see Dragon fights in the early game anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But this, when you started with 4 members around, obviously Fnatic is going to go in and try and fight you because you're taking damage from it, and it even ended almost killing a target, but got a lot of them low. Clearly an FNC Dragon.
Well, I mean, it caught up a lot of the gold lead. CLG still a little bit ahead, but Fnatic really close. Reckless in trouble. Nice ult from McSmithy. Knocks him back under turret. Gets out on the lantern, though. Good save by Cly.
They really need that turret, too. That's going to be about an equalizer in gold if they can actually match that turret count.
Yeah.
So becoming increasingly important. But the question about who's going to stop Darshan, just like in that first game, is still present.
We will most likely see Lulu sit in that lane later and just wave clear. Like, don't try and fight him necessarily, just push the wave, match TP for TP, because there's no one who can really go against Rammus then with the other TP. That's one of the things about Lulu into Corki, is that you have a fairly even laning phase after the Corki nerfs, but you can bring TP as Lulu, which then offers you more map play later on, where Corki relies on the package more or less and just pushing lanes. Kalista is the one sitting and clearing side lanes at this point. Obviously not the same impact as a TP champion.
Well, we'll see what Fnatic can do now. Trying to push up this mid lane for the moment.
This is also the game for Clyde to really show what he can do. And this synergy Fnatic talked about they had with Reckless and Clyde together, the 2 Swedish players in the bottom lane. Because he's basically the man saving Jin in the mid game.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. If he's not there with Lantern, the body slam from xMithy, combo from Aphromoo being thrown in by Styx, they will kill the Jin.
Well, we've seen it already once. We've seen Cly just recently pick Jin out from underneath the turret up in top lane.
Yeah.
So he's ready. He knows what his job is. Spirit's ready too. In the Raptor pick, Q onto Aphromoo. Not the person he maybe wanted to land that on. No follow-up. A little bit of damage on the mid lane turret from CLG.
You know, Devisha, you were talking about xMithy's Gragas to me earlier today, and I think it's very important to mention what you were saying here.
So xMithy's biggest problem when playing Gragas is he's very greedy for damage. That means when he body slams in on a target, the small knock-up where you have time where the other member can't flash, he doesn't always ulti right after. So he actually gives the other player a chance to ulti out because he will like auto attack first, or he will put down his Q, and that means that little buffer, that little moment where you're knocked up by body slam, it kind of gets removed or nullified because you get to land, and then you can spam flash and you can escape from that ulti from the Gragas coming after. So it's very, very important that xMithy body slams in and then instantly ultis when he hits a target, so there's no chance of flashing away.
It's worth noting that with this composition, as we see
the
call coming in.
Yep, curtain call from that Jin. Hui taking a lot of damage, gets slow. A little bit more, not quite enough. Febin goes for it. That was so close, man. Wow.
If this Jin had been sitting on a BF sword, that was a kill.
Yeah.
But because he got so far behind, he's sitting on pickaxe and a lot of crit.
Yep. That's not enough to kill Huhi.
So to go back with Xmithy, at least he's not the only form of engage here. You have Alistar combo, you do have the Fates call with the Alistar too, so it's not, they're not going to be as reliant on that to catch somebody out. CLG certainly not lacking in engage in this composition.
Yep, Trinity Force picked up for Huhi now on that Corki. So big items starting to get done on the CLG side at least. Not so much on the Fnatic side yet. Gamsu and Darshan dueling up there, and wow, that's a fast banner of command for Gamsu.
Hey, magic resist, and also against a champion who needs his magic damage to clear it out. I mean, auto-attacking a cannon minion as a Vladimir is going to take quite some time.
Yeah.
This actually makes it very difficult for the Vladimir to split push.
Look at that. That is going to take a long time to kill.
Just throw your blood at it, Vlad.
Yep. Yeah,
it's a weird way of throwing blood. I mean, nobody throws like that.
He kind of underhands it there.
Nobody throws blood like that. How do you throw blood, Deficio?
You know, Denmark invented handball. You just fire it straight in people's face.
I didn't know that involved throwing blood at people, though. It's a grim place.
If it's a crazy thing, maybe there's some blood involved. Normally not.
Okay, all right.
It's just about how you throw anyway. Doesn't matter just if it's blood or water or
throw anything.
Or whatever it is. Just don't throw it like Vladimir throws.
Don't throw it underhanded?
It just has no effect. No speed.
When you go bowling, you don't do that either?
I did when I was like 5 years old, maybe.
I thought so.
You still do it, Doan?
No. Nope, I've graduated. From underhanded bowling school, I guess? I don't...
Yeah, I'm not really sure what...
I don't know where I was going with that one.
Congratulations.
Rift Herald taken by CLG. Underhanded bowling school. So it's like a school, but it's really a front for like learning about being in the mafia or something. That underhanded bowling school. Reckless, looking for some shots to clear out the wave. Well, that wasn't quite as exciting as we were hoping for. But it works.
CLG is putting a lot of focus on trying to take down this mid tower, but Fnatic is just clearing out the waves every time instead of actually letting Kalista play side lane when she's still strong in 1v1.
Oh, dragon fight number 2 incoming, maybe? We'll see. CLG looking for their first dragon. Fnatic looking for their second. Q lands on Xmithy. CLG gets that dragon with the Ren. Spirit in the back lines. Whoops. Yeah.
You are against the Kalista.
That didn't work out. Ouch.
Yeah, he was also in there after the dragon had actually died.
Yeah, mistiming that a little bit.
Not only the mistiming there, but the misplay as well. Just too much crowd control, knocking him around. And CLG very ready for that one. So when we look at this Rammus, actually Rammus pushed all the way to the turret with that shielded cannon minion. See a little bit of a siege happening here. And then Vlad, during that time, pushed it back finally after the turret killed it. And by the time he was down to the tier 2, the banner was up again. So this timing is actually looking like it's going to work out for Gamsu when it comes to this defense.
It's going to be Febren in the other lane. Let's see. Look in again. If you want to move Lulu to a side lane, it's just to maximize harm on your carries. Reckless gets mid lane, Febren gets bot lane. For now, though, they're putting pressure on mid, and both teams are kind of dancing around the mid lane here. No one is really playing on the bottom side of the map. These minions have just been fighting each other for quite a while. I mean, obviously, Febren has to go down there. He has teleport, and you can just farm 3 lanes. And then when CLG sends someone to defend...
This is the slowest push I've ever seen.
I really like this adaptation from Gamsu, though.
It's really smart,
very clever. They knew that this pick had a possibility of coming out again, given its success, and they figure out a way to stall them out.
Only problem is Vlad can kill the minions around, but then his minions will take down the poor banner.
It still takes a long time, though, you know?
And if you combine it with, you combine that cooldown on banner with the cooldown on the Rammus ultimate, that's going to stop any pressure between those two things.
See if he can go
Powerball
on the minion. A cannon.
Oh well. Enjoy some blood.
Underhand throw.
You.
Well, does he do the underhand throw with all his skins?
No clue. I don't really study Vladimir's skins too often. I'm not sure if that's how you prepare Monty, but...
Just stares at Vlad's skin splash art for hours.
Clearly, because that's why I'm asking the question.
Oh, TP.
It's on him, yes!
Oh, he got him. No TP coming in for Darshan. Here comes Spirit over the wall. Darshan in a lot of trouble, and there we go.
Mid lane is open, though. CLG pushing in one more time. No minions.
Yeah, they got no minion wave, so... Oh, there's a hook.
Got a little bit excited about that.
Well, settle down, Deficio.
Sorry.
I'll forgive you this time.
Oh, the minions.
One more like that, and you're going to underhanded bowling school.
You must have been a very smart kid.
I was so smart. How did you know?
Well, he was wowed by your math skills.
That's usually what I hear, yeah. That's what I get. Yep.
All right. Ban out command, hype.
It's doing so much work in this top lane. They're probably just going to get this turret, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in that mid lane right there, and only the Jhin left to defend. They're going to pull Smithy under the turret. TP.
That TP coming in now for Fnatic. Spirit trying to get in position to make a play. Can't quite do it, though. And CLG doesn't get the turret. They do back away successfully. Febivin had to use that teleport to get back to mid lane.
I understand the way CLG is looking at it, saying, oh, we're against double TP, so we can't really go and push all 3 lanes. But if you meet the wave early and you have a Kalista who's so strong in a 1v1 with 3 early kills, you can very easily push out the bot lane and just push it towards Fnatic on their side of the river and then walk in towards mid lane, and you actually apply some side lane pressure and you might force a teleport, which means next time you do it, you can then push in mid later and try and take down tower. Just A-ramming mid lane over and over and over is just buying Fnatic time. And keep in mind that Fnatic are the weaker team in the mid game. They want to scale to late.
We did see CLG do that exact same thing in game number 2 of this series, which is just trying to stack up, and that actually delayed them pretty significantly.
And CLG doesn't want to go late game here.
And their game against SK Telecom, we remember they stood in the mid lane, and that opened up the double teleport to come in and clean up that very important team fight, which set SKT on their way to cruise to a snowball victory.
ZZ Rot, or Zrot, or whatever it is called.
Zerat.
Gragas incoming again. It doesn't have the same impact as Udyr, by any means. Still a good tank item in itself.
But without the mobility that you have on Udyr to find those locations, and also just the speed at which you can clear out the enemy jungle to set up points for the Zerat portal to go, that's going to be quite the conundrum.
Stixxet is top lane now, so we are having CLG push 3 lanes after 6-7 minutes of them trying to ARAM.
Well, it wasn't working and they were going to get TP'd on.
Exactly. I mean, this is the point of the game where CLG are a lot stronger. Corki mid game, 2 items, Kalista. This is where CLG wants to fight and put pressure on the map.
Well, they've got a dragon to do that within a minute. Got a chance.
Still only 1 dragon. Fnatic can just give it up and say, you know what? We don't need this one.
It's true. Whoa! Okay. Flash from Klein. He was really expecting an engage from Aphromoo there.
Or from Smithy, he could have tossed out a barrel right there, too. So, understandable flash. Wanting to get himself in a position where he could get picked off here. It's just important for them to live as long as possible.
And look at this play from CLG. Now, Febivin had to run from the top lane to mid lane. That meant he wasn't there. Engaged, though, from Spirit.
Yep, gonna try to go in Aphromoo with the counter engage. That's a lot of damage from Huhi. Wow. Clyde just gets evaporated. Gamsu thinking about coming in from the side. He nopes his way out of there pretty quick. And CLG get the turret, get a kill, get some pressure.
And 2 things here open up that mid lane. Febivin had to take the wave top and then run to the mid lane, so he wasn't there to instant wave clear. And also, of course, Clyde having to flash away early, so he had to stay further back.
Well, here's the thing, though, as we see this siege continuing to go down onto this mid turret, is that Gamsu actually had teleport advantage right there, and they were pushed very far up. There could have been a preemptive teleport play like we saw SKT do onto the mid lane. There is a pink ward on the right side of the river, and they could have used that to actually punish the engage and then fought in a 5v4.
Yeah, could have tried. Gamsu going back to the bot lane now to stop the split push from Darshan.
I mean, what we saw instead was him just trying to trade with taunt with Darshan. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that in a second.
This turret's taking a lot of damage. Fnatic just not able to stop this.
Well, they have TP disadvantage now. Now they can't stop it.
Yeah.
Darshan has his teleport up. Gamsu used his very ineffectively.
CLG can back off and maybe look for that second dragon as well.
So a good mix of things for CLG and a bad decision by Fnatic, honestly, with the way Gamsu played it. But just finally getting that Kalista in a side lane to then move mid after it's been pushed opens up, because obviously no TP from Febivin just yet. You get a dragon as well, 2 towers. This is what CLG wanted to do in the mid game.
I mean, you can see Gamsu just chasing around. Look at that pink ward. He knows there's no vision, and he does TP on it eventually, but you could have done that before the tower even went down, before this engage occurred, before your entire team is chunked out.
I think that
he was pretty late.
The calling here for Fnatic is like everyone yelling, I'm coming, wait for me. And then Gamsu's there for delaying his teleport at the same time. And just some miscommunication.
Oh, hello. Aftermove goes in. Wow, pops that ultimate. Here comes the package. Huhi looking for some serious damage. Clyde trying to get away, but Stixay's in range to do some damage now. Clyde lives due to the wild growth, but Fnatic still on the run in a big way. And it doesn't look like CLG, well, we'll see. It doesn't look like they can pick up any kills right here, but certainly a team fight win regardless.
Getting some summoners. Ply again, one of the main targets.
Yep.
Got the static shift, as we talked about earlier, on the Jhin, because he's the guy sitting mid. Might see full late game, he sells it and gets the rapid fire, as you talked about, Monty. Better for these team fights, but the static shift, because you are the wave player in mid lane.
Oh, Fnatic.
Gives him more Darshan.
Darshan has to flash over the wall. There's some pool. Gamsu waiting. There's the taunt. Under turret. Darshan taking a lot of damage. Can he get away? Here comes the engage from CLG. Aftermoon gets a 3-man knockup. There's a kill for Darshan. In return, Exhaust onto Reckless. He's going to turn around for one onto Aftermoon. Not bad. Big Smithy still all over this Fnatic team. And the shutdown comes in for Huhi. Clyde trying to disrupt the back lines, but it is just not working. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is working after all. As a kill comes in for Fevivin, Clyde finally falls though, and Stixay using that entire fight to push down the mid lane. Stixay wasn't even a part of that one.
Fnatic just looks so desperate. They don't have to make these plays right now at all. They're going to have the stronger late game. So they have the two teleports in this game. Why follow this so far down when you could just push up to the tier 2 instead?
They see Kalista top and they're like, guys, 4v5, let's fight this one. But Ply isn't even there just yet, and they dive on the tower against the Vladimir. Super greedy play now. Reckless obviously on this Jhin. Too far forward, gets a kill, but there's really nothing they can do in a 4v4 at first, and Clyde joins while Stixay is just farming 2 lanes at once. Super greedy dive.
Yeah, Huhi gets a little bit too aggressive there. It dies to Fevivin, but overall, CLG winning a big one there.
It's just so unnecessary. They weren't in a losing place before that game started, or that fight started, and they get a little bloodlust and end up giving CLG the exact kind of lead they're going to need to be able to close out this game.
And just makes it worse and worse, because you are slowly catching up, and then we have that play on mid tower where 2 towers goes down for CLG, missed opportunity for teleport from Rammus, and now for the follow-up play, diving in as well. Like when you play double TP in a scaling comp, all you want to do is just push minions in side lanes. Because then you force CLG to always go back and clear these minions, and therefore they can't be aggressive and you slow them down. You don't really look to crazy team fight dive onto the other team,
I don't know, I kind of like that myself, but whatever you say.
Well, I guess CLG likes it as well for now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to take that 4v5 when the Rammus and the Lee Sin on the other team have 0 HP left.
I mean, the thing is that we haven't seen CLG be the most methodical but closing out games, so they've still got some issues maybe. Here comes Gamsu onto Darshan. Darshan taking a lot of damage actually. Pops that Hemo Plague. Hemo Plague.
Plague.
It's
not a plague.
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 It's just an accent.
The Black Plague.
Hemo Plague. I think people get what I'm saying. Right. I should be careful because we're in Europe, the land of no accents at all.
Hi, guys.
It's all right. You did a good job calming it down there, Deficio.
You guys told me to.
You did. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, we just see.
I mean, it's easy to calm down as you watch. A Vladimir's big push in top lane from CLG. Huhi trying to flank a bit, but this teleport flanks upon. Income. Perfect days for Fnatic.
Where was Darshan in that
He was
fight?
so late.
He was so late to that party. Gamsu, there was no one there to stop him actually from TPing in. But this is just going to be now a Baron for Fnatic.
Another grading. To that backline, and even though you have QSS at this point, he actually deals.
Oh, wait, they don't got it. Reckless is so good.
Yeah, Reckless just threading the needle.
There's the got the Baron buff pushing up again. Klein not hitting the hook.
Yep. And whoa, he's going in again. You don't have your ult up yet, man. You be a little bit more patient here.
Gamsu looking for the zone on the next wave. Should just come right around and scare them off the tier 2 turret. That's what he'll do. He's actually going to go for it. Gets the taunt down.
Dude, that was a nice play from Gamsu. Fnatic suddenly playing with this power spike with all this confidence, and they are rolling towards an inhibitor.
And Hui not doing the same as AD carries doing, building QSS as the third item, so this is not an option. Just get taunted and taken down, because taunt from Ramush, you proc that damage, then the snare coming from Reckless after. And
I don't know. CLG trying to stop their inhibitor from getting taken out. They're too late. Stixay is back. Darshan coming from the side. Whimsy onto Stixay. Not going to be doing any damage for a little while, though. Kai comes back in, and Reckless just untouched in this fight. Afro yeah, nice. Man, Pulver. And there's the ace from Reckless. Who he's back up, but how much can one Corki do? We're about to find out. Not much if he gets hooked, rather. Hitched, hooked, whatever. Fnatic with a dominating game number 3, and they are moving on to the final game today against QG.
All right, hold on. Let's not use the word dominating in that fashion.